All right. Should we get into basketball?
Yeah, what's going on in basketball?
All right, let's do this. Well, biggest news that has come out, the most shocking news, I guess, that has come out from the basketball world is that Grizzlies star Ja Morant took to Instagram Live early Saturday morning and he brandished a gun to his Instagram Live audience as he was in some club partying, who knows what else. And yeah, this took off like wildfire, obviously, and John Morant apologized, saying that he wants to go, get some help for. He didn't specify, I guess, like partying alcoholism. Maybe I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that. Impulsive urges. People saying, young kids who get money a lot and then they don't have the, the fortitude, the mental fortitude to like do good things with it. And honestly, looking at that video, you can't see the video now on the screen, but like he wasn't even holding the gun in any like legitimate way. So like I was wondering if it was even his gun, but or if it was somebody else's. And so that happened, and Nike, the potential sponsor of Ja Morant or the sponsor of Ja Morant, I'm not exactly sure. Instead of dropping him from this issue, they defended him from this issue, saying that they fully support him going and getting support and help for whatever he was mentioning. When in the same breath, a little while ago, Kyrie Irving, who was once with Nike, tweeted out a link to an Amazon show of something, and they dropped him faster than a bag of rocks for nothing, pretty much, absolutely nothing. And so Twitter has been ablaze with that, just calling Nike, it's a terrible company who's playing favorites, and why would you not drop Ja for this? The Grizzlies themselves have suspended Ja for the next two games. The first one being last night, and the second one being tomorrow. But they also said that Ja doesn't have a definite time for coming back, so that 2 games could be more, as he goes through getting help, I guess. Once again, not exactly sure what that means. If that's like counseling, therapy, who knows what it is. Just saving face, who knows. But yeah, so Paul Pierce had an interesting take on this. He tweeted, "I don't care what y'all say about Ja. I cared to going after I was stabbed. Y'all, I don't know what he going through. Everyone got something to say until you really know what's going on in someone's life. When you black and rich, you a target, period." People aren't a fan of this. Obviously, we are not a fan of this. I tweeted this to Paul. Obviously, he saw it. We are a massive conglomerate here. I'll take out of him. Carrying / owning a gun is not the same, and it's not the issue here at all. I mean, if that was his gun, like I said, who knows if it was or not. Brandishing it, waving it in a secure nightclub. He was probably in the VIP section. You'd imagine that's the secure place. When you're the face of an organization, there's no way that Paul Pierce would have done that when he was the face of the Boston Celtics. And that is the issue. It is not safety. It is not concern. It is not, not anything of what Paul said here. And so I'm not the only one who has critiqued this tweet, but I just thought it was interesting how people can just take something and just run with it in the complete opposite direction of what the actual problem is. Especially when, the Grizzlies themselves said, like, this is a problem and we're taking it very, very seriously. So with that out of the way of the breaking news, I did want to go into, fun things, good things that actually happened. KD had made his start for the Suns this week. He's played with them in the last 3 games, and not surprisingly, they are 3-0 in the 3 games that he has played with them. Just look at this. Look at this lineup: Booker, Durant, Paul, Okogie, Ayton. Okogie's the only one who's just kind of like, yeah, he's there. Sure. Why not? Throw him in. Can't have 5 superstars. This isn't the Warriors back when KD joined them. It's looking kind of like that, but not really. Definitely not really. But this big 3 of Booker, Paul, and Ayton was already a problem. It was already something to be reckoned with. And now you add Durant there, which I mean, in these last 3 games, he has not missed a beat. I mean, he is just on pace being KD. I mean, no one's surprised by that. And so yeah, it's interesting to see. I also said that Kyrie was let go from the Nets, not let go, traded, and Kyrie went to the Mavericks. So now it's Kyrie and Luka over on the Mavericks side. So it's just a crazy. Like I said last week, it was just a crazy trade period. And yeah, so I mean, basketball, it's in their full swing. Taking a look at the matches this week that happened. Obviously, we're not going to go through every single one of them, but I mean, there's a lot of matches, people. There's a lot of games that goes on, and so I'm not going to go through all of these, like I just said, and that's probably not going to be what we do until we get to the actual playoffs. Then we'll go more into detail with every single match that happens. But yeah, so interesting stuff. The Bucks were on a 12-game winning streak, and then that was ended this week. They got another one just yesterday, I believe. The Knicks are also on a bit of a tear. They've won 9 in a row. So looking over here now to the standings, I'll blow this up for everyone. Looking here to the standings, it doesn't look too much different from when we looked at it last week. I mean, the Cavaliers actually with 4th, that kind of surprises me. I mean, the Spider, what's his name? Donovan Mitchell there in Cleveland. He's a beast, and it shouldn't surprise me. I don't really know the entire Cavs team, but they haven't been terrible lately. So, like I said, Nets. I'm pretty sure the Nets were at 5th here last week. So they've won 2 in a row though. So, like I said, I don't know who they got for KD and Kyrie and them, but they've won 2. But I really don't see them staying here. I don't. I mean, any of these teams can make a run. It's not that far, it's just not that far of a gap. And the Nets really need to just keep their foot on the accelerator if they're going to stay here. If not, they're gonna go down into the play-in, and they probably won't go out of the play-in. I'd probably be surprised if they got out of the play-in, but they might lose the play-in. I mean, honestly, down here in the West, there's the Suns, with KD joining them, 3-game winning streak. I see this going up. I see them passing the Kings, maybe passing the Grizzlies too, honestly. I mean, with Ja out, who knows how long Ja's going to be out. Ja's our superstar, and, he runs the offense. So the Warriors are here. I think, didn't I just say that they were lower last week, and they've already gone up a little bit? So that's what I said. I mean, Steph is back. He came back yesterday for them, so that's good news for them. They love to have Steph back. I had some stuff here on injuries as well. Let me see here. LeBron is out for the Lakers indefinitely for the rest of the season. So yeah, there you go. At 11th, that's probably going to drop more. Because, I mean, love him or hate him, LeBron still has the gas. I mean, he still has the gas. He still has the energy. He still has the power. I mean, if LeBron's on the court, anything could happen, honestly. So now a lot of pressure falls on AD. If he stays healthy, that's always a risk for AD. LaMelo Ball is out for the Hornets. He's out for the rest of the season as well. Did I say the Hornets? I was right. I'm not right. Am I right? Oh no, I'm getting embarrassed. Yeah, Charlotte. Okay, I'm not crazy. I just didn't see him for a second. Yeah. So LaMelo's out. I mean, they're in 14th, so you're not really missing much there. Actually, you might as well just stay out for the rest of the season. Karl Anthony Towns has a calf injury. D'Angelo Russell has an ankle injury. Some of these might be updated. I haven't checked, honestly. Hell out of me. Andrew Wiggins has been out due to family matters for a long time now. No one really knows what that means. But if they ever get him back, the Warriors, if they ever get him back, he was very pivotal for them at the end of the season last year and going to win the championship. He was very pivotal. in their championship run. So if they get him back, I mean, and Steph stays healthy, the entire lineup stays healthy, we could see what happened last year. Honestly, they make a run, they get hot at the end, and come playoff time, I mean, you got people on that team who know how to win. And that's just the bottom line. Can they win against Phoenix? Probably not this year. You know, can they win against Denver? Maybe. I mean, honestly, I really do think that the Suns with KD are the favorite for the West now. I mean, even though Denver is sitting there really nice at 45-19, maybe I just need to look at more of their games to see how they're playing. And I know they have Jokic, which he's just an animal. Maybe I got to see more of their games. But I honestly think that KD coming in for the Suns gives them this extra boost here down the stretch. And I mean, don't be surprised if you see the Mavericks, you know, with Kyrie and with Luka, they could push for that as well. They could push. So the West is getting more stacked. It's just like the old days of the NBA. The West is where it's at, you know. Highlander, any thoughts on the NBA?
You know, I gotta say the Suns are a team that I like to watch. I think it was 2 years ago when they were in the NBA Finals with, remember correctly, it was Milwaukee Bucks. I think they were facing that one. I was a big fan of Devin Booker that year, so it's interesting to see that they would add a piece like Kevin Durant to that team.
Yeah,
and I mean, as of right now, I gotta say they're my favorite in the West. I gotta say to take it.
Yeah,
having a super team like that. I mean, when I really look at the West, adding KD to that team just makes that team. Honestly, they have to be one of the favorites now.
final boss.
I mean, I could very easily see a Bucks Suns rematch final.
Yeah, I could see it.
Where I think the Suns would win this time, only because they actually have the talent around to do it fully.
But I mean, you also got to think like the Celtics could probably do it. They could probably make it. I mean, the Celtics are looking dangerous. The Knicks are coming out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know if they'll have what it takes to keep this momentum going into the playoffs. But I mean, the Eastern Conference is not bad. They're not bad either.
Yeah. The East has always been a really competitive conference, though.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the West is going to take it this year. I do. I mean, it's like we just said, the West, just the talent of the West is just too much. I think it's just too much. So, I mean,
any surprises that you think will make it into like the playoffs that are out right now? Like any team that you think is going to make a huge run?
Let's see. Any team that I think is going to make a huge run. Let's see. I mean, not really, honestly. I mean, I think that these standings, I mean, like I said, the Nets, I think they're going to go down. And with that, maybe just these guys just shift up the way they are. I mean, I don't really see much difference coming in. I mean, the Knicks, I mean, they might be my dark horse, honestly. I mean, they're in fifth, but they might be my quote unquote dark horse. I mean, they won 9 in a row. They were 30-27. You know, that's almost 500. And now they shoot up to 591. So I mean, like, if anyone has the, you know, spurt of energy that it needs for that, you know, that month of June, like they're showing it now that like, hey, we've got the gas. So they're a dark horse, I would say. I mean, you can't count out a lot of these teams, but I guess the Knicks, just because of how they've been looking, it all depends on how they look in June and May. But I would say they're my dark horse for the East. For the West, I mean, the Mavericks, they got Kyrie, so they could make a push. I could see them easily making a push with that extra energy. They just lost one though. Not sure how long Kyrie has been playing for them. Maybe he came back recently too. Maybe he didn't. Not entirely sure by that. But yeah, I don't really have any hot takes for you when it comes to dark horses. I mean, I don't see someone going 10th, like the Jazz, for instance. I don't see them making a run. It's possible,
Yeah.
but I just don't see it.
See, I think that's the thing with basketball, though, and I think a lot of people out there can agree with this. Where like the standings for basketball is probably the most accurate out of
They're
any other sport.
That and
Because
baseball, I would say, are too. Just
yeah,
because of the amount of games that they play. I mean, you would probably say hockey's the same way. I mean, standings for
well,
hockey.
the thing about hockey though is there's a lot of times that eighth seed team can pull the crazy upsets and make it into the finals. Whereas I feel like in basketball, you kind of get a feel for who you're gonna see like later in the playoffs.
True.
Like I highly doubt you're gonna see like the Wizards, for instance. You're probably not gonna see the Wizards in like the finals.
No, I agree. I agree. If they even make it to the play-in.
That's,
I mean,
that's what I mean.
I mean, that's the thing. The people in 10th right now, they could fall off and not even make the playoffs. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, like for instance, like if AD is healthy and if he literally just puts the team on his back like he's back in New Orleans, I mean, that's possible. But that they make the play-in, I'm saying. Like I'm not saying they're going to the finals. Do not quote me on that. I never said that.
But if there is a team that could somehow slip in the 10th or whatever and make it and then go all the way to the finals, it could be the Lakers.
I just don't think so. I mean, I think it would be a gargantuous, monumental effort just for them to just push into that. And I don't think they would have the gas to keep going. I just don't think they would. With the depth of all the teams at the top.
That's the problem.
I just don't see it.
There's too much talent in the league now.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things where like, oh, all the talent's on one team.
Right.
No, there's a lot of talent of like young youth and all that stuff that is just spread out everywhere now.
Right. Years NBA get worse.
Well, see, I'm not gonna lie. This is the NBA that I actually kind of enjoy now.
Yeah.
I like that it's kind of like everyone has a super player technically on their team now. Whereas like a couple years ago, there was like 2 or 3 teams that just had super teams.
Yep.
And the rest of the teams were just like, well, you stand no chance. Thank you for being here. Here's your participation medal.
Right.
Like I feel like as the years go on, I have a feeling basketball could turn into what hockey is, where like those lower seeds could pull upsets. Right now, I don't see it because again, there's just too much talent everywhere. Some teams are definitely stacked more.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with these trades that happened.
Exactly. And like down the line, 5 years, whatever, I think you could see some like shocking moments to where, everything is just like, okay, well, didn't expect that to happen, but here we go.